What's up, YouTube? It's Rochelle Tannen. It's May 10th. It's around 9:24. Sorry about that. I'm watching New Jack City in light of the Kevin Samuels piece I just did. I'm going to do a follow-up because there's something I can't get off my mind. Let me close my work computer. You know, you got to know, I'm a real big fan of music altogether and movies and cinema and all that stuff. I have all the New Jack City because I needed to get inspired for Mr. Kevin Samuels. And I'm sitting here about to go to work, and it came across my mind a couple of videos I watched, because I told you guys I binge watched his videos. I hadn't been following this Negro, and I'm sitting here watching his videos, and he interviews of all fucking people talking about black women and black people and where we are. Nicki fucking Minaj. And again, I want to reiterate to you people, I'm a Nancy Reagan just say no kid. I know the signs of people who use that drug, that white drug. And a lot of them Hollywood stars does. She certainly does, because she was high out of her mind. I couldn't even finish watching that interview. I look at it like this. If you're going to talk about black women and where we are and we're only cute and this and that and the third thing, why would you interview Nicki Minaj? And this time, in the recent last 10, 15 years, you could argue she's responsible for a lot of this. Her image and her music and what she put out here is responsible for what we see. Or at least I should say it plays a role. Now, granted, if I had a little girl or a little boy, they wouldn't listen to Nicki Minaj. I'm all for women in rap music expressing their sexuality, all that shit. But my issue with her is she would do it and then try to appeal to kids at the same time. You talking about who you let hit because he sold cocaine, but you doing it in teddy bear dresses. Get the fuck out of here. Then this man, Kevin Samuels, has the gall to rape black women and interview that woman. Come on. Who are you? I'm telling you, I'm all for people, some coffee. I'm all for people liking what they like and all that stuff. But I am so sick of everyone being a guru these days. You don't know these people. I don't know this man. And from what I've seen of this man, I sat here and thought, as he's talking about women's fathers and what they make us and shit. My father had a real fucking man's job. My father worked hard. Like a lot of real men. You sitting up here talking about high value. Nigga, you sitting there with your manicured nails and your finely tailored suit and popping tags and telling DJ Envy, which shout out to DJ Envy because I at least know who that nigga is. I used to buy his mixtapes back home when I was in my early 20s. When you could buy the shit and they were putting out mixtapes like fucking hotcakes. I used to eat them shits up. I love music. I wish I still had some of them CDs. They had some real tight remixes and things on those CDs. But I know who he is. And according to DJ Envy, Kevin Samuels used to sit outside of her maze trying to drum up business. And to me, I don't care where you shop and whatnot, but he seems like a poser. Like a lot of these Negroes are. A fucking poser. He actually responded to DJ Envy talking about how he shopped in Hermes. Who cares? If you're really, really down for the people, like you say, who cares? Because a lot of your audience can't afford Hermes anyway. As you said, they're average people. I just sat back and just other thoughts in his work just came into my head. But that Nicki Minaj video, that just does it for me, because she's so high in that video. On that white girl, on that Pookie. On that Pookie. As I watch New Jack City. Kevin Samuels is the kind of guy that snorts cakes but will put his head down at a crackhead. That's the type of guy he is. And understand, I see what's going on in the streets. I understand where younger people are coming from. I get it. Y'all want to gravitate. And not to be fair, a lot of people, you want to feel good, gravitate towards someone, have a leader, tell you what's going on. But if you just take a look at what's going on, you should be able to put two and two together. I'm looking at a man like Kevin Samuels talk about hard-working, high-value men, this and that and the third thing. When you sit behind a desk in a comfy office, you're not out here working in these prisons. You're not on an oil rig. You're not a long-distance Mack truck driver. You're not a garbage man. Hell, you're not even a teacher. You're not none of those people. No. You were a salesman. Who the fuck do people like Kevin Samuels think they are? Who the fuck do you think you are? Divorced twice. And again, you like what you like. I don't knock the brother's hustle. But this is my opinion, what I saw of him. And when I sit and think about Nicki Minaj and the fair he talks about, Nicki Minaj, asshole Barbie. I never liked her music, never liked her image, never liked her. That voice is like nails down a chalkboard. And when she dropped, boy oh boy, did the shit just explode out of control. In addition, in a time where mothers have been off their job forever. Because yes, I'll give it to Kevin. I said in my previous videos, he made some valid points about black women. He made valid points. However, like the Mexican brother who called in, or Latino, pardon me, I'm not sure what Hispanic he was, but he was a Hispanic man. A lot of these women are crazy. See, our black women problem, we get, our shit gets magnified, and a lot of it's our own doing. But our shit gets magnified. But these other groups of women have problems too. But a lot of these women aren't worth 2 cents. I don't care what race. Ain't worth 2 cents. You go talk to some of these old people, old white women, because I do. I'm a very odd person. A lot of different people talk to me. Old Asian women, old Hispanic women, and listen to what they say about these young women. It ain't just older black women who complain. Believe that shit. They may complain about different things, but it's all one and the same. I heard an old white woman. I helped this homeless white woman in Center City, Philadelphia. This poor lady's living at the airport and had taste that was out of this world. She said to me, we're standing downtown on a beautiful Philadelphia day like it is today. And she said, these 2 white girls walked by in their fucking leggings, thinking they look nice. And she said to me, the sad thing is they think they look real nice. I said, I know. As this homeless woman, we're talking about the Macy's makeup counter in Estee Lauder. I think I pronounced that right. It's been a while. You older women, y'all know what that's about. And that Macy's counter, that makeup counter. Number one, this old white woman has no business living in an airport. None of these old people have no business living in airports and on sidewalks and shit. We got that going on. And niggas is worried about someone who interviews Nicki Minaj. These women across the board, you don't look as nice as you think you do. A lot of these women don't even know how to dress in season. And yeah, these other groups, they're getting married more than black women. But I look at black women like this. Black women have been here the longest, and black women have been worn the fuck down. And people like to put their nose down at all these single mothers, baby mamas, and all this other shit. But listen here, this is an American travesty, nigga. Nigga, this what's going on and what's been going on is fucking heartbreaking. And I'm not the one to make excuses and things. I understand black people need to get it together. I get it. But when it comes to black women's one of their biggest problems is they lack discipline. And they lack guidance. And that's a failure on their mothers and fathers. Equally. And when I listen to Kevin Samuels and that stupid ass term high value, what does that entail? Coming from a man who's fucking divorced, but twice. Like I said, I have an aunt and uncle in North Carolina that made gold. A lot of you younger women don't know what the fuck that means, but gold is your 50th anniversary. Those people are still together. They're gonna die together. That's most of Kevin Samuels' life. And you're still high value with your manicured nails typing on your keyboard and moving your mouse like you're working. I would love to land a man that drives a Mack truck. Like that said married aunt told me as a young woman, a married woman always keeps a pair of plain black panties. Yes, they do. And right now, all my panties are black. Don't need some nigga to tell me about femininity or value. And neither do a lot of you. If you want to raise your value, get your shit together. And I'm no different. I'm sitting here. I'm not living the way I should be living because it's not about how much money you make necessarily. It's how you spend it. Who are these niggas to put value on someone? And then Kevin Samuels, you'll interview Nicki Minaj and then talk about how other races of women, how they're high value and fit and this and that and other. That bitch got a bubble butt. Them curves ain't fucking real. And I'm sure she's done got a few ounces of fat sucked out too. She from Trinidad. You know our Caribbean brothers and sisters can cook and throw down. I like to put her in back with a fucking Caribbean buffet with some Caribbean dishes and see how dainty she is. She's not even dainty. She's fucking crass. With her fucking bubblegum pink wig on. You in your fucking 30s. That you'll interview Nicki Minaj and tell these everyday women about their value. This bitch with all her millions, her bubble butt, her fake titties, her musical success, we'll call it. The best she could do for a baby's father is a man that has to have a court order to see his own kid because he's some fucking pervert from the fucking 90s or some shit. That should tell you niggas something. That should tell you niggas something. Most of the YouTubers I see, they're just trying to get to that circuit. They want to be a household name. They come off as they care, but if you really listen and look through the bullshit, they don't care. And me, I'm not going to hold you. Eventually, I like to make money off my own ideas. I'm a millennial Gen Xer. Of course, I want my own. But I got to be able to look at myself. And at this point in my life, I learned a long time ago, you know, people that get older, you don't appreciate getting older. Because my mother died at 37, that's fairly young. My dad died at 62, and that's fairly young in the grand scheme of things. The work I'm about to do, I see people that were born in 1925, and yes, they're still around. And and people take life for granted, you know. I want to make money on my own ideas, but I will also like to be able to make enough money to live comfortably and to see other people prosper. Because I get what a lot of the problems are out here in these streets. Kevin Samuels and people like him, they get it too. But they're more about making themselves rich. And they want that fame. He just came off as a real slick. He's the type of guy that snorts coke but looks down on crackheads. You look down on these single mothers and whatnot, talking about low value women, you shame and guilt and whatnot. There is some truth to it. Homeboy, your mother's black and she was a single mom. What you saying? What you saying? Your mom won't shit? Your mom wasn't high value? Because if that's the case, my mom kept my dad to the day she fucking died. Y'all always talking about white women and how they were goddamn raised. I saw that once upon a time. It breaks my heart my family fell apart. A lot of our families fell apart for different reasons. So what you saying, homeboy? Your mother couldn't get a man to put a ring up on that finger? So who are you to judge these other people? Or these young people? You had to beat off 25-year-olds with a stick, huh? The good Lord makes no mistakes. You were 56 in 2022 for a fucking reason. Maybe you should have got with one of those baddies, because I've met some bad women in their 50s. You got some ones that aren't so hot, but they're here in Philadelphia. He had made a comment, Philadelphia has some of the worst women. Well, let me tell you, homeboy, this is my honorary hood. Philadelphia has some of the worst men, too. And I've met some bad mamas that work in this city. Tight, right, fit. Especially some of these women bus drivers. They're some of the hottest women in the city. Not only are they looking good, they're driving fucking buses and trains. How sexy is that? And maybe you should have gotten one of them instead of these 25-year-olds that can do splits on dicks. You don't know nothing about that. That's why you were an old man in this time. Old, young. You were in your 50s. Young to you should be in their 40s, maybe late 30s. That should be young to a man his age. But 25, are you kidding me? The bitch still got Similac around her mouth. Talking about what husbands will. He said to the same young lady that fathers make sons, raise sons. Then again, that means single mothers only raise women, girls. He's sitting here talking about what a father raises, never experienced one. And as I said in my other video, why are all these men that are talking about single mothers, why aren't their kids living with them? My dad came home with us almost every day throughout my mother's marriage. And when my mother lived down south and my father lived up north, there wasn't a day I couldn't call my dad right on up. Because my dad was a city guy, north of the Mason-Dixie line. My mom's people comes from North Carolina. Very interesting dynamic. But there was never a day I couldn't do. And for many nights, my father came home to me. So, Kevin Samuels, where you at? Where's your kids? Let me not forget. You know, a lot of people don't give this thought on the everyday, but I guess I'm a morbid person. I've been called negative and all this other shit by black people. I don't really give a fuck because you don't know my walk in life. You know, a lot of people don't think about the manner they're going to die in. That shit's important. Yeah, that's one of the real keys and meaning to life. What legacy you leave on this planet? How many people you touch in a good way? What is your death gonna look like? Your funeral gonna look like? Yeah, you don't give it any thought. A lot of people don't. But look at the manner Kevin Samuels died in. Look at the manner this man died in. No, y'all shouldn't be following these people. This is why I don't follow on Instagram. I'm not a follower. It's not what I do. I like YouTube because I'd rather you subscribe to me than follow me. I could be leading you into hell for all the fuck you know. I don't even follow A-list celebrities. I don't even follow them. I was living before Instagram and all that stuff. I don't even follow them. Twitter, I used to like. I hope Elon Musk cleans it up a little because I don't want to see you niggas sex clips and shit to your OnlyFans. Want to use Twitter for business because I think it's very cool that you can interact so freely with top list people and they respond and you never know who's watching your shit. But look at the manner that man died in. So whoever suggested the Kevin Samuels, big shout out to you. Shout yourself out because I'm still getting into the comment section. But thank you. And again, I had heard about his death, but you solidified me doing it. And I didn't think I'd do a part 2, but that Nicki Minaj shit really pissed me off. Really pissed me off. Really pissed me off. Asshole Barbie. Bitch was pushing 30 talking about playing with Barbies. And the sad thing about Onika, she probably never even had a real Barbie doll. There's only one Barbie. And she can't come from any other. She can't be off-brand. There's only one Barbie, and she's the type of little girl. She didn't even have a Barbie. You came to the States in around 86, 85, 86. Funnily enough, Onika came right as the crack era was hitting New York, and her father got turned out. So Kevin Samuels was her father high value. Oh, is she high value? Because we get to see her big rubber butt and hear her annoying voice bounce all over the place. Everybody done made a grip off you. Your yesterday's news. Your music sucks. You're getting older and still wearing fucking pink wigs, looking like a fool. And this is who he chooses to interview on his show while he's telling women about high value, men as well. Her baby's father can't even be in the same room as his son. Nigga, please. But guys, I had to get that off my chest. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good Tuesday. Let me get my black self to work and help out these old people. I'm out of here.